Hi, good morning. My name is Emerson. I'm here to present to you this patient that was admitted an hour ago. His name is her name is Jane Doe, and her chief complaint is nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. This patient is a 62-year-old female with a kidney transplant in 2017. She has history of pernicious anemia, hypoparathyroidism, hemochromatosis, and she gets I think vitamin B12 injections for that one every month. She was initially admitted to a THR urgent care in Asley, Texas, and was presenting for nausea, vomiting, diarrhea for at least 2 weeks on admission. She in the setting of her transplant, she had a kidney transplant also, so she is immunocompromised patient. Basically, on 3/26, she was prescribed with Mounjaro, Mounjaro, like it's like an Ozempic medication wherein it has a side effect of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. And a day after she got that medication, she has that intractable nausea and vomiting. So basically, over the course of like 2 weeks, she was been having some nausea and vomiting, and unable to keep food and medication in her stomach. When she presented to the urgent care, her blood pressure was really high. I think it's blood pressure of 194/86, respiration is 99, and a Tmax of 97%. So they gave like a total of 40 milligrams IV push albuterol for her. Of course, she was not eating, so her beta hydroxybutyrate is 1.8, lactic acid is 3.2, procal is 0.2. So that means this patient is not infected or not infected with any bacteria. So they just like give a prophylactic cifepime 2 grams IV because this patient is also immunocompromised. For her pain, they gave fentanyl 50 microgram and has a sofran of 40 milligrams, 4 milligrams given. Also, she got also Pepsid and some magnesium 2 gram IV for replacement, and then Benadryl for her allergies. On arrival to Baylor, 14 Roberts, her blood pressure is 150/68, respiration is 18, pulse rate is 102, 93% at room air. She's a full code history of, I already told you about the history. So she used to have dialysis prior to transplant, but right now she's not anymore. Her home medication is that she's getting clonidine 0.1 milligrams, cyanocobalamin injection every month for anemia. She's getting also fish oil for hyperlipidemia. She's getting Norvasc 10 milligrams for hypertension, and she's getting also albuterol for her shortness of breath and allergies. Amlodipine 5 milligrams for hypertension, Belatacept, and this is for her as an immunosuppression for her kidney transplant. She's getting Sensipar for hypoparathyroidism, and she's getting Flonase also, 50 microgram nasal spray for allergy, and getting Norco 5/325, 1 to 2 tablets every 6 hours PRN. She's getting also Tramadol, 50 milligrams tablet for PRN for pain. Blood pressure medication, Cozar, 1 tablet for hypertension, metoprolol 50 milligrams, 2 times daily. She's also getting Singulair, 1 tablet daily. With another immunosuppressant is the Myfortic 180 milligram, 2 tablets, 2 times a day. Not on tacrolimus, but she's also getting KFOS as a supplement, She's getting also prednisone 5 milligrams, 1 tablet daily. She is still getting the Ozempic, 1 milligram every week for diabetes, and she's getting a Bactrim 400/80 milligrams, 1 tablet daily for PJP prophylaxis, and then she gets sleep medicine Ambien, 1 tablet daily at hour of sleep, and then zinc gluconate also for sleep and as a replacement. Anyway, she's allergic to ciprofloxacin, bupropion, glipizide, morphine, and NSAIDs, acetates. Regarding to her social history, she lives with her husband in a farm and denies smoking, alcohol use, use of street drugs, denies it, and denies taking her own life. But previously, she used to smoke in the past prior to transplantation. Past family history, her mother had a stroke and died with it, and her mother has history of hypertension, kidney cancer, and her father has hypertension and heart attack. Sister has hypertension, lymphoma, and hypertension. Has a diabetes. Her great grandmother has diabetes. With regards to her review of systems, she had intentional weight loss of 30 pounds over the past year, getting Ozempic and Mounjaro. She had generalized weakness also because of this nausea and vomiting. Head-wise, nothing is significant there. No shortness of breath, but she has mild cough and no pleuritic chest pain. Abdomen, with regards to her abdomen, she endorses that she has nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea and loose stool. She also endorses that she was lightheaded days prior to presenting to the urgent care, but right now she denies of anything. No mental, no depression, anxiety or hallucination. With regards to her physical exam, she's alert oriented ×4, no distress, heart sounds is okay, abdomen is okay, she's no pain during palpation, bowel sounds is present, no edema, no tremors, no focal weaknesses, denies dysuria, infection, incontinence, or frequency. Moves all extremities, no deformities over there. Basically, plan for this and differential is kind of acute gastroenteritis, but I think this is a medication-induced gastroenteritis because of that prescription, or because of that she got the Mounjaro. So right now the plan is to stop or hold that Mounjaro, or stop it, and just let her primary care physician know that it's not working for her, and just send her with probably the Ozempic, Ozempic. Her CT scan from the outside hospital, it says also no gastroenteritis, so we're gonna remove that off. But I think basically this is medication induced. She looks volume depleted when we assessed her, and so I think that's the reason why, or because of the nausea and vomiting, her blood pressure went up. Basically the plan is give her some LR 2 liters at 100 ml per hour, and then we're gonna start her with some Reglan 10 milligrams IV Q6 hours, Zofran 4 milligrams per hour, but we need to be careful about giving Zofran or monitor her QTC, because it's at the borderline 497. Keep her on clear liquids right now, and then probably advance as tolerated after a day. We're gonna do some stool comprehensive panel, check her for C. diff, if those kind of stuff, probably because she's immunocompromised, she's really at risk of infection. So we need to like check that. With regards to her lactic acidosis that happened outside the hospital, we're gonna recheck her lactic on this admission, and then possibly because I think the reason for that is because she's volume depleted, and to note that her procal is 0.02, and that means she has no bacterial or anything infection going on. So we'll just continue IVF and recheck that. The beta hydroxybutyrate is 1.84. So I think this is caused by the starvation that happened to her. She was nauseated, vomiting, and not even able to like keep her medications down, and that's the reason why her blood pressure shoot up. So we'll just have to like monitor this over the past days and see. We're gonna trend her lactic acid. Anyway, with regards to her immunosuppression and kidney transplant, she's taking the 360 milligrams of mycophenolate, and prednisone and belatacept infusions every month. So we'll just continue that, and then probably, and not probably, we're gonna consult with nephrology for the care of this patient with regards to the kidney transplant. For the hypertension, she's getting metoprolol, clonidine, amlodipine, and losartan. So we'll just continue that one and see, because, you know, I think the reason for the blood pressure is basically she's not eating or taking fluids a lot. With regards to her diabetes, we're gonna hold the Mounjaro and then continue Ozempic, but on this admission, we'll not give those. We'll just have to like keep her on a sliding scale Humalog insulin, and if she starts to eat, that's when we're gonna start her on a Lantus, and then transition her to Ozempic or Ozempic when she goes home. With regards to her asthma, you know, we're gonna continue her allergy medicine. No, allergy medicine is on hold, but or not ordered, but we just like ordered for albuterol, PRN, breathing treatments for her. Her VT is low molecular weight, and Lovenox 40 milligrams subcutaneous every day. The only referral that we have for this is nephrology for management of her kidney transplant and kidney medications. Basically, she will gonna be admitted to inpatient telemetry unit, and then because her sinus rhythm, her heart rate is borderline on the hundreds, and also the QTC is on high, and we have the Zofran. But if her QTC will gonna go up higher more, then we're gonna have put the Zofran on hold or stop it, and then just like give her some other antiemetics. Her basically ultimate plan is just to discharge her home when she already improved and stable.